speaking, now I finally get to start saying stuff, right?
Not quite. Next, we have to decide what sort of content we'll use to tell our story. It's important to have a top-down view on what you'll be posting.
So, if the point of a content strategy is to choose what sorts of media and posts will suit us, how do I write this down in a strategy? Should I make example posts or something?
No, just write down some dot points on the kinds of content you think will resonate with your audience. We can play with content later.
Great, so in the template, we've pretty much just answered all of the questions. We end up with an overview of the kind of content we can post. It's almost like a basic brief that you could give to someone to follow if you were to employ somebody to just churn out content for you.
Pictures work better than text because they're immediately engaging and they're immediately visual. Text takes a few more seconds to read and to process. So images are generally the most engaged form of media on social because they're immediately there and you immediately get that message.
Cool, so everyone knows that videos and pictures work well on social. So let's say we'll do 80% photos and 20% video.
If you're an organisation that has a really interesting, engaging story to tell, then video can also be really important. The best content generally on social channels is video and photographs.
How you'll do this stuff totally depends on what channels you're on and what your resources are. You might only be able to make one video a month and then use it as inspiration for all of your other content.
A really bad content strategy would involve content that isn't relevant to your organisation and that isn't relevant to what your audience is looking for.
Even though we're talking about our strategy, remember that it's all about what an audience will respond to. Who are they? What do they like? And what don't they like? Okay, so you often see people like to repost and share other people's content. Is that something we should do?
It's definitely valuable to post other people's stuff when you're trying to, I guess, insert yourself into a conversation that is benefiting your organisation or your message. So an example of that would be if you're a political organisation. You want to be posting articles and you want to be encouraging that dialogue so that you can also put your message out there as well and having people engage with you back and forth. Because it's important to remember that social is a conversation. It's not just a one-way dialogue.
So if we're reposting, it's all about being part of that larger conversation. You'll always want to share some other posts, but how often depends on you and your audience. But if we're clear about the broader conversation, it's easy to see what content other people are making that our audience wants to see.
Remember that social evolves really quickly and we're only covering your next 6 months. Your content strategy will evolve as you learn about what your audience likes.